It was one of those days where everything seemed to go wrong. Tara had been running errands across the city all day, hustling to make her fledgling online bakery business succeed. She was determined to get her products into local cafes and restaurants, hoping that even a small deal could open doors to bigger opportunities. But the meetings hadn't gone as planned, and every no thank you she'd heard chipped away at her enthusiasm. By late afternoon, she was exhausted, disheartened, and struggling to stay optimistic. To make matters worse, a storm was rolling in, and dark clouds filled the sky as she rushed through the final stretch of her day. She had used most of her remaining money for transportation and ingredients, and when she finally arrived at the train station, she realized with a sinking feeling that she didn't have enough left for a ticket back home. As the first drops of rain began to fall, Tara stood under the station's awning, frantically searching her wallet, hoping she had missed a few bills or coins. But there was nothing. Her phone's battery was almost dead, and even if she had someone to call for help, there was no way to reach them now. The rain intensified, pounding against the pavement and sending people scurrying for cover. Tara stood there, drenched, trying to think of what to do next. She felt utterly defeated. How did I end up here? She wondered. Her once bright dream of running a successful business seemed to be slipping through her fingers, and now she couldn't even get home. As the minutes dragged on, Tara's frustration turned into quiet desperation. She didn't want to cry, but the combination of failure and fatigue weighed on her. She shivered in the cold rain, hugging herself for warmth, when suddenly she heard a voice behind her. "Miss, are you all right?" She turned to see an older man standing a few feet away, his weathered face creased with concern. He was wearing a thick jacket and a hat, clearly prepared for the weather. Despite his age, there was a calm strength in his demeanor, something about him that felt reliable. "I'm fine," Tara said quickly, embarrassed by her situation. "Just trying to figure out how to get home." The man nodded, his eyes softening as he took in her drenched appearance. "You look like you've had a rough day," he said, his voice kind. "Where are you trying to go?" Tara hesitated for a moment, not wanting to burden a stranger with her problems, but the look in his eyes was genuine. She sighed. "I was supposed to catch the train, but I don't have enough for the ticket, and my phone's dead, so." The man nodded again, understanding. "It's no good being stuck out here in this weather," he said. "Come on, I'll give you a ride." Tara blinked in surprise. "Oh no, I couldn't." "Don't worry about it," he interrupted gently. "I used to be a cop. Helping people is still in my nature. Besides, I don't want to leave you stranded out here." He gestured toward a parked car nearby. Tara hesitated, but something about the man's calm and reassuring presence made her trust him. She wasn't sure what else to do, and the rain wasn't letting up. She gave a small nod. "Thank you," she said softly. "I really appreciate it." The man smiled, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "My name's Ravi," he said, as he led her to the car. "It's no trouble at all. Just doing what I can." They drove through the rain, the windshield wipers rhythmically swiping away the water. As they drove, Ravi asked Tara about herself. She found herself telling him about her bakery business, how she'd been trying to get it off the ground, and how difficult it had been. She admitted that today had felt like the final straw, a series of rejections that left her feeling defeated. Ravi listened quietly, nodding every now and then. When she finished, he glanced over at her. "It sounds like you're working really hard. Don't let a few setbacks stop you," he said. "Starting something from scratch is never easy, but you have the passion for it. Keep going." Tara smiled weakly. Thanks. It's just hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel sometimes. I know what you mean, Ravi said thoughtfully. But trust me, things can change when you least expect them. You never know who might take notice of your work. They reached Tara's neighborhood, and Ravi pulled up in front of her apartment building. She thanked him again, feeling incredibly grateful. I don't know how to repay you, she said. You really saved me tonight. Ravi smiled. No need for that. Just keep pushing forward with your dreams, and take care of yourself. With that, he gave her a nod and drove off, disappearing into the rainy night. Tara stood there for a moment, watching the taillights of his car fade away. She felt a little lighter, a bit more hopeful, as she headed inside, still thinking about the kindness of the retired cop who had gone out of his way to help her. A few days passed, and life slowly returned to normal. Tara kept working on her business, trying new strategies and reaching out to more potential clients. But the memory of that rainy night stuck with her. She wondered about Ravi, the kind man who had helped her, and how much his simple act of kindness had lifted her spirits. Then, one afternoon, something incredible happened. Tara was checking her phone when she noticed a flurry of notifications. Her bakery's social media accounts were exploding with new followers, comments, and messages. Confused, she quickly opened the app to see what was going on. To her shock, one of the country's biggest influencers, an Instagram celebrity with millions of followers, had posted a story about her bakery. The influencer had shared a glowing review of Tara's products, calling her bakery a hidden gem and urging her fans to support the business. The post was already going viral, and Tara's online shop was flooded with orders. She couldn't believe it. How did this happen? Her phone buzzed again, and this time it was a direct message from the influencer herself. The message read, "Hi Tara, my dad told me about how you're working hard to build your bakery and how you were having a rough night when he met you. He gave me some of your cakes, and they were amazing. I love supporting small businesses, so I wanted to help get the word out. Wishing you all the success." Tara's heart skipped a beat as the pieces fell into place. Ravi. He was the father of one of the most influential figures on social media. She sat down, stunned. The man who had helped her on that rainy night had not only been a retired cop, but the father of a woman who had the power to change her life overnight. And with just one post, her business was booming in a way she had never imagined. Tara took a deep breath, feeling overwhelmed by the turn of events. She thought back to what Ravi had said in the car. You never know who might take notice of your work. He had been right. She never could have predicted that her chance encounter with a kind stranger would lead to this moment. Over the next few weeks, Tara's business soared. Orders kept pouring in, and cafes that had once turned her away were now reaching out, asking to stock her products. She was busier than ever, but this time it was in the best way possible. Her dream was becoming a reality. Months later, Tara found herself reflecting on the journey that had brought her here. She knew that hard work and perseverance had played a big part, but she also recognized the power of kindness and how one small act could ripple out to create life-changing opportunities. She never forgot about Ravi, the man who had stopped to help her when she was stranded in the rain, expecting nothing in return. His kindness, coupled with the unexpected boost from his daughter, had given Tara the push she needed to keep going. And she did. Her bakery became a beloved local brand, and as her business grew, she made sure to pay it forward, just like Ravi had done for her. Tara often thought back to that rainy night, and how, sometimes, life's most difficult moments could turn into the biggest blessings when kindness and generosity are involved. Because of that night, Tara's life had changed forever, and she never forgot the lesson it had taught her. You never know when help might come, or how a single act of compassion can open doors you never even knew existed. Tara's story is a powerful reminder of how small acts of kindness can lead to life-changing opportunities. Stranded in the rain with no money, she received unexpected help from a retired cop, only to later discover that he was the father of a famous influencer who promoted her bakery. The ripple effect of his kindness not only rescued her in her moment of need,